Hello, welcome back to the channel. This is the first video I've done wearing a face mask, and it's the first video I've got access to on the new Hyundai Tucson. In fact, Hyundai Ireland and EP Mooney did something very clever. They got a truck, they got to the Czech Republic, they not stole, they got some Tucsons and brought them back, and it's 1-0 in Ireland versus England because we've got the Tucson on the ground before the UK do. So this is the first look at the brand new model. Ireland has fallen in love with this car since it went on sale officially in early 2015. It has been the #1 top selling car so often, and there is no reason looking at this new model today why that's going to change. In fact, 2021 is going to be a big year for this model. So let's have a look at it first. We'll show you around the inside, we'll show you what's different, what's changed compared to the old model, how much does it cost, the petrol, diesel lineup, is it hybrid, what's going on, what do you get as standard. You'll find it all out in this video, so hit subscribe if you haven't done so yet, and let's take a look around. Some people love a lighter colour that contrasts stuff with the roof. I personally, I love that darkness of the grille around the front and these lights, which I'm trying to do them justice, but certainly in the dark they're going to look like brilliant claw swipes just along the front of the car and on either side. And then you've got fog lights down here, so the front is going to be very well lit. And you've got 4 creases across the front of the bonnet. If there's what's the main difference between this Tucson and last Tucson? Creases, man, creases. So let's take a look at the side profile of the car straight away. It's got that curved overhang at the front of the bonnet that you may be familiar with the front of the previous Tucson. Now, we've got so many creases and lines. The car is absolutely full of them. You've got a Toyota RAV4 vibe going on. You've got a Lexus vibe going on. You've got, I'll show you in the back in a second, but there's something going on back there. Really, really expensive premium car comparison, and something that will be the direct competitor for this car. Although this is fresh and brand new. Both arches on the car at the front, you've got little grooves in the plastic that kind of just sweep into the back. This is a 2-tone roof, so it's called Dark Night. Yes, think Christian Bale. And it's slightly different colour, and if you get a darker colour, this silver trim will pop. If it's a silver car, you won't notice that as much, but you can pay extra for a different toned colour roof. And I think the main difference between this and the last model is the level of creases. They're just everywhere, right the way down the side of the car. Both doors, front and back, 4 creases across the bonnet. Under here is the Hyundai logo, but it's not attached to the car, it's actually inside the glass. So that's different. So around the back we get these lights that sweep right across here for a brake light, and it'll stay on if you wanted to. And I don't know about you, but as I look at this, I'm thinking Range Rover Sport, the way it goes over the back, and those claw clusters, they're from a competitor of the Tucson. Let's say it like that. They're influenced, inspired by. You still get the twin exhaust down here, and the lower part of the black bumper, it's not just plastic for the sake of it. There's nice crisscross, is a diamond effect over that. And in here is a windscreen wiper. You don't see it. Certainly on the black you don't see it anyway. It's tucked away nicely under the spoiler. But I think when you look at that angle right in the boot there, that's the point you go, yeah, that's lovely. Right there. Okay, so in the actual boot, you can get an electric tailgate. This one doesn't obviously have it. 12-volt tethering hooks. Parcel shelf. This is really clever. So here's one I've made earlier. Parcel shelf under here, and it fits tucked away. You don't have to keep it in the jacks at home. You don't have to put it in the hall at home. You don't have to shove it into the back seat or across the back of the boot. It just simply goes in here and you forget about it. And it's almost 2021, or maybe it is 2021 when you're watching this video. The amount of cars that still can't get that right, and the fact that that's sorted is brilliant. And this shelf can drop down and give you more depth in your boot. Under here you get a couple of storage pockets. There's no actual spare wheel. You get a tire mobility kit. Ever tried to use one of them? And the seats obviously do go down in a 70-30 configuration. I'll show you how you can let them down from inside the car, because you can't do it at the back. But boot feels like it's similar size to previous, and certainly standard in this segment of car. So that's all good. Executive Plus model of the car means you get things like blinds, and they can keep the sun out for little people. They're actually a little bit finicky to close. Nothing major, like you'll either have them up or you'll have them down. But actually it might stop kids messing with them, wrecking your head in the back. Actually there's something for kids as well, because if you want to turn off your speakers in here, there's a button that does it. It's called silent mode or quiet mode, and you can keep the noise going up the front and let back here chill out. So little handles around here for the seats. You can keep it in an upright position like that, or you can recline it back a bit further, and that's how you get the seats folded down from the boot. So you do have to come into the car. A little bit annoying, but 2 USB charging options back here, an armrest which has 2 cup holders. The way that clunks down, man, that's solid. That's not going to move. You've got 2 Isofix on either side, little bits of stitching on the seats. It's more pronounced as well in the front, and they're like sound waves or something. I don't know what the vibe they're going for there. Rear window feels a bit, it looks like it's bigger than the last model, more visibility in the back, and your middle seat belt comes from back here, goes across your passenger's chest, as it should. Lights in the car, they're all halogen, so it's a bit strange to have yellow bulbs in a car so modern and futuristic, especially up the front, which we're getting to in a second. Leg room back here, no problems. Even how the seats sit up off the floor, there's like, what, 5 inches off the ground. There's really loads of rooms. You're not going to be stuck. You can stretch your feet under the driver's seat if it's raised up a little bit, and like your knees are going nowhere near it. You've got storage in the back, and the door bins in the back. They'll hold a bottle, like a decent sized bottle in the back, but not huge. But these strips look good, and they nice bit of stitching, and because this is the one with the leather and the cream, just all pops and feels great. And the head height, again, it's massive. So there should be plenty of room here for child seats, for infant seats with the big backs over them. If your driver is exceptionally tall, you might have to put the bigger child seat on the left-hand side and so on. But it's a good size, and certainly leg room for older passengers. Maybe you've got teenage kids, whatever. They're going to be fine back here, and there's stuff to charge their devices, which will hopefully, I was going to say keep them quiet, but they're probably quiet anyway because they don't speak. Anyway, let's check out the front of the car. As soon as you open that driver's door, first thing that greets you is a gorgeous looking steering wheel. It's got, I suppose, technically 4 spokes, 2 down the side. It has huge gaps where you can see everything. So the instruments, which are digital and seem to be where Hyundai are going, digital is standard. The way the steering wheel is designed, even if you bring it up and down, you're still getting a really clear view of everything. For those of you who love physical buttons, you have buttons. They're not actual knobs, but they're not in the screen. So if you want to change your aircon, if you want to higher up the volume, if you want to turn on your heated seats, if you want to turn on your demisters, your front misters, Howya misters, it's all here. And your climate display comes up here. And it's very easy to use. There's a lot going on. Like you have Blue Link, which means you can sync up your phone with your appointments, your calendars. You can see how cold is the car, where have your journey's been. It's all very connected. And then there's gimmicks like, I suppose, peacefulness audio that you can pipe into the car. There's a fireplace, bit of a Tesla vibe going on. It's like as if Hyundai have looked at everything, more expensive and less expensive, and taken bits they liked of all different cars and then come up with this. I mean, I'm not overdoing it when I say this steering wheel certainly has a Jag I-Pace vibe about it. Even the interior feels a little bit Jag inspired, you know, just little hints in there. Little paddles, like the design on them is so good, and the indicator stalks have got this diamond feel, a texture to them. Not blingy, but just nice. Under here, ample storage, like half my arm's gone in there. The cup holders are generous. They're kind of raised up. There's little storage holders down here too, and they light up at night time. You can change the colour of the interior to whatever you like. And I like the way you can actually pick the colour yourself, right down to the tiniest little detail. That's important. The glove box, it's not full of fuse boxes. That's tucked away down here, so you can actually use the glove box. You know, that's very important. Your screen is really bright, your nav is good. When you go into the actual nav and you click on the map and you view it, and you can change your colour displays, and you can make it cafe latte or mocha. It's all very sophisticated. There's voice notes in it that you can record stuff like, I need to get myself some milk. Traffic information, which will tell you about traffic and roadworks, and you've got roadside recognition. Nothing majorly radical. I don't think this car is going to upset previous Tucson owners. It's going to make them want the new Tucson, which is important. But will it tempt people out of more premium cars into this? I think there's every good chance it could. As I said earlier on in the video, this car is literally fresh off a transporter, not even the boat. The boats haven't left yet. In fact, you'll be able to order this car now. The order books are open here at EP Mooney, for example, but in early February is probably when you're going to see the first Tucsons on the road. In the next few weeks, you'll be able to test drive them at dealers, assuming the levels change. But here's the standard stuff, and I'm not ashamed to read off the page because it is fresh. So standard in all cars, you get a centre storage area with the armrest. You get electric lumbar driver support. You get all the ISOFIX, not including in the front seat here. Okay, that's something to bear in mind. But you do get Apple CarPlay and Android. You get lane keep assist, including a driver retention warning and high beam assist alert. There's driver attention alert, there's frontal collision avoidance, which is really good. If you haven't used that before, that will sense a car or an object or an obstacle in front of you, and if you aren't paying attention, you don't get to the brakes in time, the car will apply braking pressure for you, and quite a lot of times avoid an accident. So on the Comfort Plus car, which is 33,600 odd, and these are new budget inclusive prices, these are prices for 2021, that's what you get as standard. If you go for a diesel, you can get a manual. If you get a petrol, they're all hybrids, so they're all automatic. So if you're comparing the previous petrol Tucson model, maybe you have one, and you're wondering, okay, well, what's the difference? It seems a bit more expensive. Well, first of all, you got changes to prices, but second of all, the petrol will be a hybrid 1.6 with an automatic gearbox. So there is no true like-for-like comparison in the petrol area of the last model. There is with the diesel. Your next jump then is to the executive. That is €36,195. It's a jump of about 2.5 grand. And then if you want the two-tone roof, that's another 800 quid. Metallic paint is 650 quid. Now the executive is where the guys here at EP think people are going to buy when they go for the new Tucson. So in that, you will get 18-inch alloy wheels. You'll get seat trim in leather upholstery. You get heated front seats, electric lumbar support. You get privacy glass in the rear doors. You get the ambient mood cabin lights, dual zone climate control, a DAB digital radio. You get an under bonnet engine insulator. I presume that just makes things quieter. They all get eCall emergency assistance, by the way. 5-year warranty and 5 years AA membership, all included. If you jump to the Executive Plus, which is what this car is, it gets a little bit more expensive. You jump then to 39,695. And if you want the different toned roof, you're just going scraping over 40k. Over the other trims though, you'll get 19-inch alloy wheels. You'll get a static bending light system. That sounds interesting. There's a reverse parking camera with dynamic guidelines. In fact, the camera on the car is really, really clear. You'll get electric parking brake, a wireless phone charging pad. You'll get a bigger screen, which will be 10.25 inches, hill start control, downhill brake control. There are a few extra things, but for the jump in price, I think, like many cars, the middle trim is usually the one, especially in Ireland, where you get the best value. So the Executive is where you go from. Oh, in here, they're still giving you those little extender visory bits, just to block out any bits of extra sun that might come in and wreck your head when you're driving. Little things like that. Hopefully you found the video helpful today. Very quick look around the new Tucson. It's now available to order at EP Mooney, Deansgrange and Long Mile Road. If you're going to Deansgrange, ask for Paddy, ask for Kevin. Tell them you want a deal, okay? Tell them you want a deal on it. But It is a great looking car inside and outside. It's a serious step up on the last model. Not that the last model wasn't great. As I said, Ireland absolutely adores the Tucson, but I think this is going to take it to the new next level. And the fact that all petrol or hybrid, it's going to be an area that I think a lot of people, they're not going to want diesel anymore. Some obviously will, but the idea of a hybrid, it's going to be cheap to run, cheap to tax, easy on juice, and the 5-year warranty and everything else thrown in. It's going to be an interesting car, so you will be able to test drive it very, very soon in the next few weeks. And yeah, let us know what you think of the car. Leave us a comment, like the video, share it. And if you know someone who's interested in a new Tucson, send them this way. Thanks for watching.